A few weeks ago, God took me outside my comfort zone without my permission. I was traveling alone without Kathy, and a situation came up that really threw me off. And it triggered my insecurities. I didn't really know how to handle it. And then I started to beat myself up. How come I couldn't handle this when other people could? So I felt like an insecure, inadequate loser, and I thought there must be something wrong with me. And I thought that if people really knew how weak and insecure I was, they might not even like me. I also realized that over the years, I'd been hiding behind Kathy to cover up for my weaknesses. That where I was weak, she was strong, and I could just hide behind her. But now she wasn't with me, so I was feeling vulnerable and exposed. Now, all this was going on inside my head. The people around me had no idea I was even thinking these thoughts. But while I was wallowing in low self-esteem and self-pity, it occurred to me, or God brought to my memory, that I had heard all of these sentences before. All these things I was saying about myself, I had heard them before. In fact, I had actually taught them. They came right off of my DVD on shame. Because I taught that if you talk like that to yourself, you have a problem with shame. Well, that meant that I had a problem with shame. Well, that really wasn't such a great thing to realize. In fact, I was a little ashamed. You see, we all have a problem with shame to some degree. I just didn't realize that that included me. We all have areas of weakness and insecurity that we want to keep well hidden so that other people don't notice it. We want to keep up a mask of competence. But Satan wants to keep all those insecurities in your face so that you always feel like a loser, and he's always wanting to beat down your self-esteem. But God doesn't want you to stay bound and tormented by shame. And I've created 2 DVDs on how to be healed from shame, because usually shame is rooted in a past wounding event that God wants to heal you from. And so if you go to these DVDs, and there's a link to them below, I'll walk you through the process of the healing prayers to be free from shame. But here's something you can do right now. The first thing is, renounce your agreement with the lies that tell you how defective you are. Renounce your agreement with the shaming lies that Satan keeps throwing at you. And the second, and much more powerful, is ask God to tell you, who does He say you are? What is your true identity in His eyes? And then ask Him for a picture of how He sees you, and write it down. Because only God knows your true identity. Only God knows who you really are, and He wants you to know that. And then you can walk free of the lies of shame. And the next time Satan torments you with how inadequate you are, you'll say, well, that's not how God sees me, and I'm agreeing with Him. Now I want to hear from you. When you paused and asked God, how does He see you? Or how does He describe you? What did He tell you? Just leave your comments in the box below, because we want to share the experience with you and enjoy your testimony. And if this is your first visit here, you need to get my free self-assessment guide. And to do that, just subscribe to our weekly email newsletter by filling out the form on this page. And I'll talk to you again next week. But this week, I want you to come out from shame. Realize how God sees you.